Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the gritty reality of building actual wealth. And look, I'm not talking about those flashy, overnight success stories you're always scrolling past on social media. I'm talking about the real, often kind of unglamorous journey that literally starts the exact moment you enter the workforce. It takes a very specific mindset and a structured plan to navigate from day one all the way to financial independence. So, if you're ready to look past the myths and really understand the true mechanics of how money works throughout a career, well, you are absolutely in the right place.
Man, we all remember that feeling, right? You land that first real job, you're calculating your salary in your head, and you're feeling pretty incredibly rich. That is, until that first direct deposit hits and you realize exactly how much of your money the government thinks belongs to them. Suddenly, you're just staring at the screen asking, wait, where does that first paycheck actually go? It is a completely overwhelming moment. Honestly, between federal taxes, state taxes, rent, utilities, and that sudden looming reality of student loan payments, that wealth you thought you had just vanishes instantly. It's entirely normal to feel confused or even a bit defeated right out of the gate. But listen, understanding where that money is going, that's the very first step to taking it back. Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to follow a clear chronological roadmap today. We'll start with your first real job, then move right into escaping the debt trap, unpack a crucial phase called the unseen middle, and finally explore the journey to wealth. So let's start at the beginning. Section 1, your first real job. The excitement of new income mixed with the very real danger of mismanaging it.
Right, so when you get that first real job, there are two absolute non-negotiable rules you've got to follow to survive and set your foundation. Number one, you have to build an emergency fund to protect yourself. Because, life is unpredictable. Cars break down, unexpected medical bills pop up, and without a buffer, a single emergency can literally derail years of financial progress. You got to consider this your financial armor. Number two, get the full 401k match from your employer. Seriously, if your company offers a match, take it. Leaving a 401k match on the table is basically turning down a part of your own salary. It's free money, folks, and it's a completely critical early step in putting your income to work for your future self.
Moving on to Section 2, escaping the debt trap. This is a heavy burden, and it's a phase that requires a lot of empathy and patience because almost every young professional finds themselves here early in their career. Just look at the sheer weight of that number, 20%. That is the average high interest rate on a credit card today. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how compound interest, meaning you're literally paying interest on your interest, is silently and aggressively working against you. Every single day you carry a balance at 20%, your future wealth is basically being siphoned away to a bank. Escaping this trap isn't just about paying bills. It's about stopping that massive mathematical bleed that prevents you from ever getting ahead in the first place.
And this brings us to a really critical fork in the road. On one side, we have the broke mindset. This is spending that first real paycheck immediately to fund a lifestyle that social media insists you deserve. The brand new car, the luxury apartment, the whole shebang. But on the other side, we have the wealth mindset. This is strategically and quietly using your income to aggressively eliminate debt. The wealthy mindset is frankly entirely unglamorous. It means driving the older car, skipping those expensive dinners, and throwing every spare dollar at that 20% interest rate. It requires intense discipline to ignore the flashy lifestyles promoted online and just focus entirely on your own financial freedom.
Which leads us to Section 3, the unseen middle. This is the messy, repetitive phase that influencers and movies conveniently just skip right over. The reality of this middle phase is that it's a linear, deeply time-consuming path. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that looks like. Year 1 is really just about surviving the new job and figuring out your baseline. Then come years 2 through 4. These are the grueling trenches of debt payoff. This is where you just put your head down and chip away at what you owe, month after agonizing month. It's only around year 5 and beyond, once that debt is finally cleared, that you enter the phase of accelerating wealth accumulation. So look, if you feel like it's taking years just to get back to zero, this timeline shows you that you're actually on the perfectly normal expected path. I really want this point to sink in. The quiet, unglamorous hard work of budgeting and consistency is where actual wealth is built. It is not built in a single brilliant investment, and it's definitely not a lottery win. If you look at your life right now and it feels like a boring routine of paying down debts, sticking to a strict budget, and slowly putting money away, well, I want to reassure you, you are doing it exactly right. The boredom? It's a feature, not a bug.
That quiet consistency is literally the engine of wealth.
And once you push through that middle, we finally arrive at Section 4, the journey to wealth. This is where the narrative shifts and all that hard work starts paying incredible dividends.
Because the ultimate goal of this entire journey is defined right here, financial independence. It is that glorious tipping point where your money finally works for you, instead of you working for your money. Think about it. Up until this point, your physical labor and your time have been generating your income. But once you've protected your paycheck, eliminated that high-interest debt, and pushed through the unseen middle, your capital takes over. Your investments actually begin to generate more income than your day job. And guys, that is the true definition of lasting wealth.
So the crucial point is that everything we've covered really boils down to 4 main rules. First, wealth fundamentally requires discipline above all else. Second, the journey starts on day 1 by protecting that very first paycheck with an emergency fund and a 401k match. Third, you absolutely must endure the unseen middle. There are just no shortcuts through the trenches of debt payoff. And finally, compound interest has to transition from being your worst enemy to becoming your absolute greatest ally.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought to really carry with you. I want you to look at your bank accounts, look at your debts, look at your investments, and ask yourself honestly, what is your money doing for you today? Is it building someone else's wealth, or is it building yours? You have the roadmap now. The next step, well, that's entirely up to you.